Welcome to Work the Left Side. I am back and I'm hyped to announce tonight's guest. I'm hyped to announce, or I guess, well, I'm extra hyped. I'm hyper to announce tonight. I am rejoined by Mr. Wesley Nsereko. Dude, are we good?
I'm good. You good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. 5 by 5. Welcome back. Obviously, it's not the first time you've been on. So I'd just like to say, I was bigging you up back in the day before everybody else jumps on, and sort of, I know how cool you were from day one, buddy.
That's. Do you know what? That's when I saw you post that you were looking for some new people, and you're welcome for anyone who's been on before to come on. This was when I was in the middle of like the craziest media run I've done in my life. I think, Mike, I'm gonna keep this calendar and put it in storage because there was 3 weeks where I was doing 2 or 3 interviews a day, podcasts, radio. I still want to hunt down some of these podcasts and clip it all together, but it's got to the point where I don't think I'll find them. And I was like, you know what? The only person who interviewed me before all this was yourself. I think I might have done one other interview with someone over in America years ago. You're the only ever person who pushed me online with a podcast and sent me clips so I could put it on my own. So I was like, yeah, anytime you want me to talk Gladiators or anything like that, I'm in 100%.
Also, it's not just Gladiators, man. We're just going to talk you. We're going to hype, just big you up in general, mate. It's not needed, but I like to do it. But yeah, dude, obviously, we've just mentioned, Gladiators, dude. So, by the sounds of it, when that was done, mate, your workload just went.
Yeah, I suppose with a full-time job, and I was qualifying to be a personal trainer, and I had some personal stuff going on in my life, on top of being a pro wrestler. And then obviously with everything that comes with pro wrestling, you've got the gym, you've got pro wrestling training, you've got wrestling homework, if you will. Like, I think there was times it was getting to me, and I just remember I've had a couple of moments like that in my life where I'm like, but this is what I want. So you just double down and crack on.
Dude, good logic. That's it. I mean, this is it's hectic. It's trying to it's like you're playing Tetris with freaking this, that, and the other, trying to slide it all into place. But that's a good thing because obviously you're doing something right. Things are starting to click into place. And if you're hectic, it means you're in demand. If you're in demand, that just goes to show, as I said, you're doing something right, and people are starting to acknowledge that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to showing a lot of new fans. I've bumped into many a family and new fans who've come to shows who have never been to a wrestling show before. They just popped along because they saw a familiar face, and then even better, you see them walking away talking about other wrestlers who were on the show, and like, oh, did you see that? And I know as a wrestling fan, that is what wrestling's about. I've been to many a show to go see A, B, and C, and you come away loving X, Y, and Z as well as A, B, and C. So it's like, I love it.
I think that's what we always sort of say, as people who try to, obviously, as wrestlers, as promoters, as somebody who tries to build up the scene. Even if you're one or two people on a show, go watch it, because I guarantee you'll leave it, loving 3 or 4 or 5 more people. There's just so much on a show, and like I say, if you can be that face that pulls in 1 or 2 new people to a show, and then they come back, and then they come back again. They tell a friend who tells a friend. Yeah, that's invaluable.
Because it's how I got into wrestling with when they used to bring imports over. You'd pop over to a wrestling, I think, I've been to a few, and well, I say imports, one of them was Doug Williams. Doug Williams on the show, you pop along, and then you see some other guys, and then you look on their Instagram and their Twitter, and like, oh, I'll go to where they're wrestling. It just grows from there. I love it.
Dude, that's crazy. So, I mean, obviously, we're talking I mean, last time we talked, obviously, you know, we focused a lot on True Grit.
Mm.
But we will get to True Grit eventually, obviously, of course we will. But, you know, before we start recording, you was talking about, you know, Evolution. So Joseph Connor's house.
Yeah.
You're going to be there soon. That's a promotion that's absolutely, you know, tearing it up at the minute. And obviously Connors knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
So if he's inviting you to his house, again, dude, you're ticking the boxes.
Yeah, I'm loving that. Just the honour to rock up to a brand new promotion that I think they're gonna produce some amazing talent. And you know what? As soon as I heard rumours that one of their shows was going to be called Contenders Ready, it was a no-brainer, isn't it? Here he is. I'm as ready as anyone will be in the British wrestling scene.
That's awesome. Right, okay, I'm gonna I put some questions out earlier, which we'll get to later on. Just to forewarn you, I think you saw them, but yeah, I put it on Facebook. I've got a few questions on standby ready for you at the end. So it's a bit of a break from the norm, but we'll have a little Q&A at the end just to kind of wrap it all up. But yeah, you mentioned them. You also said, I totally forgot about it, sorry, my mind's like an absolute goldfish at the minute. You said you were somewhere this weekend as well, which was, is it somewhere new for you?
This weekend.
Circle, was it?
Yeah, I'm at Squared Circle, which I've just found out today that I'm going against Big Sax. Saxon Huckley's over from Japan, so that was a nice surprise. Like that's I'd wrestle him anywhere in the world. I think I've wrestled him once before in Rise, like 5-6 years ago, and I think this is when I just started to change over to the Ugandan Warrior.
It's still early days though.
The evolution of me. I was more the Ugandan warrior, full on Ugandan vibes, and now I've merged. Now the character's developed into a hybrid athlete. Then it's Wesley, so it's going to be fun to lock up with him.
That would be like if you can find the footage from that original match, like you say 5-6 years ago, because I can remember that. Yeah, that was like I say, you just kind of started the evolution. You obviously wasn't 100%. You're still finding your feet a little bit. Obviously, where you are now, you know, this is like, you know, the final stage of the evolution kind of thing. This is going to be awesome to kind of compare, you know, like I say, the two matches. Obviously, Saxon's a big boy. You're a big boy. That'll be an absolute sort of immovable object meets the unstoppable force.
I'm so ready. Like, even I think just the confidence of going into these matches is the thing I'm surprised at. I remember seeing my name next to people like that previously, and it'd just be stress and worry. Now it's excitement, and yes, I can show someone new what I can do. So I wish I had this mindset 6-7 years ago. Who knows where I'd be, but it's all part of the process. I love it.
Dude, that is going to be awesome. I'll look that up and I'll put it on the socials as well for people watching this that want to know any more information. I'll plug it on there. But because Saxon, obviously, again, I mentioned True Grit. You know, you guys, you mentioned Rise, but I don't think your paths ever crossed. But obviously, you've kind of worked within close proximity with Saxon before, you know, like True Grit and stuff, I presume.
Yeah, I've trained with him a few times at a couple of wrestling schools. He came to Grapple Wrestling quite a few times, trained with him in Oldham quite a few times. So always got on with him. It's just there's so many wrestlers that people probably wouldn't even know that I get along with them really close behind closed doors, but I've never once wrestled them. We've been on the same shows. I think because a lot of time I was doing tag team wrestling. I think when I met a lot of these guys, I was the good old Lion Kings.
Yeah, Seb, good old Seb. Shout out.
Seb. Big up Seb. But so I've not been able to lock horns with any of them, and now's the time. I'm finishing off strong.
No, you behave, mate. I'm not having that. I'm not having that sentence. I'll veto that. I'll mute it or something. I'm not having you finishing it off strong, dude. Your trajectory is still going up. You haven't. No, I'm not having it. No. Well, edit that finish.
I'm
You're just
storyteller 101. Let's see what happens.
You're going strong, mate. You're going strong. This is just a middle arc at the minute. But yeah, obviously Saxon. Actually, I've got to ask one of the questions just because it kind of ties into what you said there about, like when you used to be announced for these matches and you get nervous, you get belly, butterflies and stuff. Somebody asked, what was one of the hardest matches to prepare for? I think it was, I'm totally lost. I forgot his name. It was on Twitter. Apologies, dude. He talked to me all the time. Tony. I thought it was Tony. Asked, who was the hardest match to prepare for? Are they all the same? Do you go into them with the same kind of attitude, or has there been certain people when the match has been announced and you've been like, crap, right, okay, the pressure's on to up my game?
Yeah, I think that's too hard a question, because I think just my respect for many people I've gone against, everyone is different. And with us having no off season, it's not like we were doing a fight camp. If I'd had individual fight camps where I can train for 6 weeks for one opponent, then I think it would be quite easy for me to figure out, which was the toughest. But anyone who's trained for any sort of fight, marathon, big event, I'll find out my opponent maybe 2-3 weeks before, sometimes the day of. So you can't prepare. You're not going to get any fitter in that 2 weeks. All you can do is a bit of homework and make sure your legs are still working. I suppose the only person I've really been able to prepare for, which has been in the back of my mind while I've been training, is Brady bloody Phillips. Me and him have gone back and forth a lot of times, and then obviously when you find out when you're the champion, you got the target on your back. See, I'd find out I've got a James Mason. It's like, oh yes, I can tap into my British wrestling training. You find out you've got Rampage Brown, like, oh, I'll lift a bit heavier this week. Whereas, Brady Phillips was always in the back of my mind. So that's probably the only person I've been able to visualize while I'm in the gym. As I say, all the others, you've not got enough notice, unfortunately. It'd be amazing if we had 4 months to prepare for one person. It'd be a whole different pro wrestling scene.
Yes. I was going to say, when I asked that question, I thought as soon as I asked it, and I know what Tony's getting at, but it's a really hard one to sort of answer. Especially,
I know exactly what it means, and I would probably ask the same question, but now, and then as soon as you said it, I was like, my brain didn't even get a chance, because I'm like, I've got weekends coming up where I'm wrestling for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it'd be like impossible for me to prepare for each individual one. So that's what I love about my favourite part of training, is being a hybrid athlete. I can do Olympic lifting, I can do endurance running. I love it all. Calisthenics. Wow. So that's perfect for pro wrestling for me. So any given day, I'm ready.
You've got the things to tap into. You can pull out the drawer, whichever drawer it is needed. But I was going to say, obviously, when I asked that, I quickly thought back about, the trials of Nsereko, that you went through at True Grit. Like you say, you mentioned Rampage, you mentioned Mason, Sam Gradwell, is another one.
Yeah, Gradwell. We had Sheik. It was a few.
BA Rose as well. Again, totally out of left field. You just like, shit.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, when I saw BA, I was like, oh, we're not going to dab any. It's not going to go hardcore. I remember going into the gym a couple of days later, and I was like, why is my elbow and my hip hurting? I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Damn you. But that's the thing. Obviously, you mentioned there, about being the hybrid athletes. Obvious question then, when you was, applying, going for Gladiators, you've got this whole hybrid thing to pull on. Obviously, that is probably, I know wrestling's like a cardio nightmare. There's just so much different. There's no real way to train for wrestling. You just, except for wrestling, nothing measures up to running the ropes like running the ropes and all that kind of sort of stuff. So with the Gladiators, did you just stick to your normal sort of training? Did you just kind of think, I do enough of what I do to be able to have a good go at everything? Or did you have to kind of mix up the training and just focus on other things?
Yeah, I think that's the best. I think for any Gladiator fans, I think that's going to be the most exciting thing about season 1 is nobody had time to really prep, i.e. they've not watched who the Gladiators are, what their strengths are, how have they changed the apparatus. So we were all going in blind, which for me, I think that's why I was at the height of my performance, because I loved it, because I was like, I'm ready for anything that comes my way. Whereas now, unfortunately, you're going to have people in season 2 who're going to be able to study everything that's happened before. They'll come in stronger, faster, prepare specifically for certain skill sets. Whereas I just rocked up. I was halfway training for a 100-mile ultra marathon, wrestling on the weekends, and competing in the odd little CrossFit workout on the weekend. And I was just like, I'll pop along and do a Gladiators tryout. Why not?
You're the only person I know who could get away with calling anything CrossFit little. You know, in fact, that was mentioned in the same sentence as like a 100-mile marathon. It's like, yeah, no, okay, that's fair. Yeah, we'll let that one go. That's cool. That's by comparison. Yep. Because obviously, I remember on our last chat, you know, we was talking about the hybrid thing. You know, the ultra athlete, you know, running like 2 or 3 day marathons, things like that. Obviously, you know, we touched on that then. That's when you turned up on Gladiators, I was like I sat here with my kids. It became like a Saturday night thing. We'd watch it with the kids, kind of thing. And there was like my oldest Logan. He's like, I know him from wrestling. I was like, yeah, it's Wes. He's like, oh yeah. It's like, how do you think he'll do? I was like, he'll boss it. You know, and then I explained to them all about the hybrid and the ultra stuff. It was like, oh really? I was like, yeah.
I'm glad people got to see that. It's been said a million times by a million wrestlers. There ain't no gimmick. Everything I say, I do it, and then finally I was able to show it to the, I don't know how many viewers we had at one point, 8-9 million viewers. People were able to see that I back it up. I don't just say I do this here and there. People were able to see I was going toe to toe with Olympians, and even beating their biggest guys on the duel and stuff. Like, come on, man.
That was mental. And I loved the little forward roll on the gauntlet. It was just like, yeah, there we go. That's the wrestling. It's coming out. He's going to finish it with a forward roll.
Yeah, that was just instinct.
Dude. Paul, you know, of all the people to take with you as well, you know, take Nash and get Nash's face on TV. You know, he's going to be milking that forever.
Oh, yeah. It was a no-brainer when they said, oh, if you bring someone, they might get interviewed. Oh, I've got a guys.
Don't hate me afterwards. That was awesome. But yeah, that's just like I say, and then you're doing that. But for wrestling fans, you know, that I know, obviously for people within shows that I go to, yeah, like I say, we've known you for years, dude. We've known how awesome you was, and I can't big up just how good it was to see you do that. And like you said, just prove it's not a saying, you know, it's not just a fancy catchphrase to use in wrestling. It's legit kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it legitimized me a little. And I think I needed that because I was getting to the point. Yeah, I was putting in good performances at True Grit. But it's weird. I knew in the back of my head, like, there's something bigger for me out there. Like, come on, like, push. So obviously you're constantly sending out emails, going to seminars here, there, and everywhere, getting your face out there. And you start to get demoralized a bit because you're like, oh, I've been doing this for however many years. And when that came, it just came at the right time. And I don't think they were ready. I wouldn't say a chip on my shoulder, but when I finally got the call, like, right, you're going on the dance floor, I don't think they realised that I was going to turn it up.
That's it, man. It's not a chip. It's just motivation. You had a fire. You had that drive to be like, right, okay, give me this opportunity, and I will absolutely fucking run with it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Could have gone the other way. I always think about that. it could have quickly gone the other way.
It could have done, dude. And fair play to you. You put yourself in a situation where, like you said, it could have gone both ways. If you'd have turned up, got knocked out, fuck. I don't even know. I think people still would have, been massive Wes fans. But
it entered my mind for a good 10 minutes the night before. I remember thinking, yes, finally, is this exciting? Like, friends and family get to come watch. And I was like, oh, what happens if I just get embarrassed for a whole show and then get absolutely annihilated at the end? And I was like, and that's why I thought, you know what, I need to do some wrestling taunts, because at least I'm going to go out in some style.
Yeah, that's it. Be memorable. If you're going to go out in style. But
yeah,
you didn't, so it's all good. But yeah, so obviously, the bookings are coming down the back of that. Obviously, man, I just saw you at the weekend as well at Planet Wrestle. How did you find that show? I've been to 2 Planet Wrestle shows now, and both of them have just been fun. I presume you guys just go there, have a laugh, and just obviously do what you do, but do it with a little bit more of a bounce in your step.
Yeah, I love Planet Wrestling. It's a new vibe. That's going to grow from strength to strength, that company. It's going to be one of those outside the box. People can go be their alter ego. Obviously, when I originally was going to go there, I had 1,000,001 ideas of all these alter egos. Like, I can do this, I can do this. I'm going to buy a suit. I'm going to do this. And what I've learned over the last few months and all the time pro wrestling, the week comes and then you're like, wait a minute, it's Planet Wrestling on Saturday, because it's just you're just in the machine of I'm wrestling. I'm like, I've got a million. I'm writing ideas as we're talking right now. Things come to my mind, but I know this piece of paper is probably going to be in the kitchen somewhere and then get thrown in the bin. I've just constantly got ideas. I just need to channel them in the right way.
Dude. That's it. I mean, that's the thing. I love talking to people as well who I can always kind of gauge the people like Alex, aka Axel, from Pursuit. I know he will always have a pad nearby, because it's kind of, as soon as you get an idea, right, write it down. And yeah, I kind of imagine you being the same, especially at the minute, because you've got all this new stuff coming up, that exciting stuff. It's going to be a case of like, right, okay, it's new, got new promotions, got to turn up, I've got to try this, got to do this. And yeah, mate, I can just imagine your mind's going like 100 miles an hour. You're just like, right, and trying to capture it all. Pencils on fire.
Yeah, I was thinking that these are got a lot of new promotions, but I know that they're bringing me in to be Wesley Nsereko, Wesley from Gladiators. So that initial showing, it will be Wesley. I'll give them all my bells and whistles. But if I end up staying at any of these companies, this is where all my ideas will start to flow, and they'll get to see a different version. I've got 3 or 4 versions of me where I want to go. And I suppose the good thing is I've got so many different companies where I can try a little thing here, try a little thing there. Yeah. If it gets any sort of reaction, I'm like, this is the one.
I'll plant in the seeds, see what takes. Obviously, I say, Planet. You went against. I want to call him Jacob Quinn, but then on some graphics he's called Jake Quinn, so I'll call him Jake Quinn. I like him, dude. I think he's awesome. He's definitely one for the future. Did you enjoy working with him?
Yeah, 100%. First thing I asked after the match was, how long has he been wrestling? I think he's only been at it for, did I hear 3 years or 1 year? Or he's only had 3 matches. I think he's been wrestling for a year.
Yeah.
Either way, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Wish I'd hit him a bit harder. No, just kidding. Yeah, Quinn for the win. And he's good. He's going to be really good. Anyone where you're just talking to him and it's easy to talk to people. I'm not trying not to ruin the magic too much, even though everyone knows. But do you know what I mean? Like, anytime you talk to anyone and it just doesn't feel like any sort of stress or drama. It just feels easy. You're like, this makes it easy to come to work, I suppose you could call it, on the weekend. Not that there's many people I bump into that are hard to talk to, unless you call Jimmy Jackson. He's horrible to talk to. But yeah.
Not Jimmy Jackson. But yeah, Jake Quinn, winner, not a wiener.
He's a bit of a wiener. And he didn't win.
We'll keep that on the down low. We'll keep that just to yeah, we don't want to get too big in that anyway. So yeah, still a wiener. That's still got a lot to prove. So we've got Squared Circle, we've got Evo. Also want to mention, just because obviously we've got a charity show. I've just seeing as we're talking about Pursuit, talking about Quinn. You're in the Pursuit house next month for a charity show. I believe it's you and Nathan Black on the poster. I don't know if that's who's you're fighting, or if you're just like the two faces they've chosen to represent.
I'm hearing rumours that he's already called me out in the Sheffield Star.
Oh.
I'm not going to be. I'm not going to lie. Bit crazy that there's a mention to it in the Sheffield Star, and it wasn't my face that was plastered all over it. I think the headline was something like "Why I'm going against a Gladiator finalist." They could have just. I hope someone from the Sheffield Star gets a clip of this. They need to come talk to me. I'm a Sheffield lad. Might have been born in Uganda, but I went to school, Montini Primary School, Ewlands School in Grenoside. Sheffield Star need to hit me up, man, and show some love. But that is going to be a great show. Obviously, a great cause, isn't it? Yeah. For the Children's Hospital charity.
Yeah,
I'll mash anyone up. And I've been speaking to a few contenders from Gladiators who are Sheffield's own as well.
Yeah.
All the ones from Sheffield, they may or may not be making an appearance. So watch this space. Might have some helps like WrestleMania where all the stars come out.
Dude, it would be like, I don't know, what was WrestleMania 34 Sting
Theomania, if I may.
Dude, that would be awesome. And obviously, like I say, it's for a great cause. I'll plug links in as well. Anybody's watching this, Pursuit, hit up Posty Malone, Glenn Walton. There's some numbers left on the raffle ticket. Great cause. But yeah, I think as well though, if you get to fight Nathan, then there's just extra motivation just to punch him in the face. It's Nathan. Why would you not?
Oh yeah, it might be the best training facility in the country, but he's definitely the most hated man in the country. Let's roll with it.
It's just I'm gonna have to apologise after this, but I'll put a little thing in. But yeah, the character Nathan Black is just so easy to dislike, and just want to punch him in the face. I can only imagine being in the ring with him and just being able to be like, right, let's go. Yeah,
it's all fun and games until you hear him on the mic for 5 minutes, and you forget everything that's meant to be happening. You're like, I think we just need to have a scrap.
I don't think he realizes it's so anti sort of doesn't do himself any favors. It just motivates the other person just to, like you say, just bring it a little bit more. So yeah, Pursuit next month. Another one that I mentioned. Obviously, you've got stuff going on between June and August. I'll find out what that is at some point and share it. But Gauntlet, a promotion that's kind of come back recently. I think it might be, I don't know if it's the second show or if they've had a few prior. I know they had one recently, but Gauntlet have got the second show, well, maybe the second show in August, and you are on the poster for that as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm guessing my match hasn't been announced for that, has it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's too far. Yeah, they've just released a poster, and again, I think Nathan's on there, Axel's on there, Nash is on there.
I won't say, but yeah,
there's a lot of good faces on that poster.
Yeah, that'll be. I really wish I had all the dates in front of me. As I said to you, I don't know if we weren't recording then, but today is the first day I went through all my messages. I always screenshot stuff when it's like, all right, I need to write that down in my calendar. I had a wall planner at work, and I went and stuck everything on, and I was like, I was looking through, and my the next week where I've kind of got like a good 7 days free is like 14th of December. So I was like, this is crazy. So yeah, if you'd have caught me any other time, I'd probably know everything that's coming up in the next 2-3 weeks. But because I've gone through every booking for the rest of the year, I've got every company in my head. I know I'm going up to Scotland again.
Nice.
I know I'm going Newcastle again. I know I'm going across to Manchester, Burnley, Salford, Leicestershire, or everywhere. I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, it's just like the Nsereko tour. You know, you just on the dude. Oh, it's not going to happen, mate. But you know, we need, like, you remember the Luga, the Lex Express.
Yeah.
We need an Nsereko Express or something.
Do you know what it'd be?
Big Wes bus.
I've had 2 ideas in wrestling. Number one was when I was crazy, ready for running, I was going to try and run to a few shows from my home. I was looking at logistics, and I was like, this would be good. And then I quickly realised, no, I need my wrestling gear. And there's no way I can run with my wrestling gear as well. Obviously, someone would have had to take it. If I'd have had the time to sit down and work all that out, I probably would have done it. And the other was, if anyone has ever been to East Africa, there's probably quite a few countries that have them. They're called matatus. You've probably seen them, like the buses where everyone jumps on, and there might be bloody goats on there and chickens. Like I went on many a matatu when I was over there, and I thought, if I could get one of those little buses, that'd be awesome to take all the boys to the show. And they always have like advertisements on the side, but they'll always have like have Arsenal or Manchester United flags on them. They always have a Premiership team or something. And yeah, that could have all the wrestling companies and stuff on it. That would have been awesome to arrange something like that. Maybe that's another one for the future. Maybe I'll put that on my notepad.
There you go. Write it down, man. Write it down, and get it out there. Get some sponsorships. Get somebody else to pay for it, mate, and then you can just go out and absolutely smash it.
I've had quite a few companies reach out to me, but mainly just. I think I said this to you offline. The amount of people I've had reach out to me is unreal. Big names, and even some companies, but they're just saying, "Hi, we just want to say hello. My kids love you. Like, you seem like such a nice guy. All the usual stuff." And then I'm like, "Oh wow!" And then in my head, I'm like, can you not sponsor me or something? But they're legitimately just reaching out to say hello, which is good. Who knows? It might be a link down the line. One of them was a Ugandan spirits company that's just started. I think they're trying to get into Waitrose. They do rum. I've still got all the pictures, actually. They took me out a couple of weeks ago. That's all I can say.
Wow. Yes.
They gave me like. It's called, what's the True African Spirit Kakiri rum. It's really good.
Dude,
it was a very good night. And they gave me all the samples, the sample bottles, and I've got the photos and everything. Like, but it's one of them. It's like, do you post it? It's not like they didn't give me any money. They just gave me the samples. But then at the same time, when I looked into the company and what they do, all the jobs they offer, they provide medical for all their staff, and stuff like this, which is unheard of in these developing countries where a company's going to take care of you like that. So I was like, oh, they're doing good things for my fellow countrymen and countrywomen. So yeah, you'll see me post all. Unfortunately, the pictures aren't very professional because they may or may have got me drunk by then, but I'll definitely be putting that out soon.
Mate, that's amazing. Like you said, though, that's key as well. Checking out the company, how do they treat the staff and stuff, and that sounds amazing. Like you said, for the location as well, that's next level. That's looking after your people and just taking care of them. And yeah, if you can hype them up, that's awesome. And like I said, maybe get a commission, get some sort of sponsorship.
That's the first thing they said. They said if this company kicks off and if Waitrose, I can't remember if it was Waitrose or Marks and Spencers that they were trying to get into, and they're like, if this company kicks off and we can do anything to help support your wrestling, says we will, because they just saw the Ugandan flag. I don't know if Nash was waving it. It was one of those crazy cats were waving it. They were waving the Yorkshire flag and the Ugandan flag, and that's how they saw it. So there's like, oh, he must have some links. So that's why they reached out.
Nice. Dude, that's awesome. But yeah, it's just things like that as well. Like you sort of said, it's just getting the recognition. But you know, doing that, if you're helping them as well, that's helping them improve their station, their work. You know, what they can do for people. But it gets you out there as well. I just love the fact that you could be like the next face, you know, of a bottle of rum. You know, I mean, I want to buy a limited edition Spirit or a bottle of rum with like a little Gladiator jersey on it or something.
There are talks of there's some companies that have reached out, and I think there are talks of some potential adverts coming up,
Dude.
which I do need to talk to these and see what it is. Like, that would be hilarious if you see me rock up on an advert. And trust me, I'm not afraid to sell my soul, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I don't even like. Yeah, again, I'll have to keep my eyes peeled. You have to let me know, because that's the thing with adverts nowadays. You know, I hit fast forward. But if it's a Wes one, I will sit there for 33 seconds, 35 seconds, and watch that advert. And I might even buy the product if the advert makes me feel the need.
There's so many opportunities. It's hard to keep count of what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, we'll kind of go last kind of Gladiator thing, but somebody mentioned I can't even think of the word. A rumor. That's it. Sorry, a rumor that you are looking into being an actual gladiator for Series 2. Any truth to that?
I wonder where this rumor would have come. I think there's been a few asks. I think it started because of my performances. I was able to hold my own on a few of the events, and even get maximum points on some of the events. I think maybe
is it something you'd want to do? You know, you don't have to say yay or nay to that, but is it something you would consider doing?
Yeah, 100%. It's something I think I just want this whirlwind to be over. Obviously, pro wrestling is my number one at the minute, and the amount of bookings I've got, I know I'm one of those who I try and do everything at once. I try and do running. I'll try and do. In fact, I've already said yes to it. I think in 2 weeks I'm doing like a 3-hour endurance challenge in the gym. Like, there's all these things, and it's like, why can't I just focus on one thing? Because I think I'm wrestling on the Friday, crazy endurance challenge on the Saturday, then wrestling on the Sunday, and it's like, why do I do this to myself? And then so I thought, I'm fully diving into pro wrestling for the rest of this year, and who knows what'll come of it. But I just want to do that because why not? I've been wrestling for this will be my 14th year, so why not fully dive in? And Gladiators is always there. I've got a couple of connections. They know me. Who knows how I might look this time next year? Let's see what happens.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Actually, sorry, one more thing, because James asked me to ask just what was the scheduling like? You know, did they just record all the quarterfinals in one day, or the semi-finals, you know, in one day and stuff like that? Because obviously, as fans, we were watching it, you know, episodically on a week-to-week basis. But for you, did you just have to go there for like one day a month, and then you just kind of did all your stuff, and then you'd gone back a month later to do the semis and X, Y, and Z?
I suppose if people who were there, they'll know people in attendance at Sheffield Arena. I was there. I don't forget how long I was there. It was all recorded in about 12 days.
But all of it from start to final?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's probably why you can see there was so many bumps and bruises, and and Hurt, so all recorded one day. The both semi-finals recorded on the same day as well.
Damn. I mean, in my head, that kind of.
A new nickname for me, hashtag Mr. No Days Off. I've cracked on. And one thing that people won't, does anyone know? I'll break the news here. I made one stupid mistake that I regret. I was going, I don't know if anyone's, I was going to get it. I don't know if you've ever heard of a 5-year journal.
No.
So it's like a journal, so it'll have today's date, 15th of May, and it's got like 2022, 2023, 2024, 2000. So you write a little sentence on what you did on that day. Then when the year comes around, so when the year came around and I was reading what I was doing at Gladiators, I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So I had a wrestling booking, while I was down as a standby. So Mr. Clever Wes over here thought, I can't say no to a booking. So I rocked up to Squared Circle and wrestled Tucker. Probably did like, I'm there thinking, oh, I'll just do like 2 moves, take care of my body. And then as soon as you get there, you're like, oh, I'm wrestling Tucker. I might never get this chance again. You want to entertain the people. Wrestle away. Few bumps and bruises. And then straight that night, went straight to McDonald's and then drove straight back to the hotel in Sheffield, ready for Gladiators. And I remember thinking, while I was there, like pretty beat up and I was like getting taped up and stuff, I'm like, that's probably not the smartest idea I've ever had. I'm here recording one of the biggest TV shows that's hit this country for a while, and I thought, oh, but let's get a cheeky booking in.
Always the pro, man. Always the pro. You know, you got to protect those bookings. You got to protect that reputation. I'm sure they totally would have understood if you'd have been like, look, no, I can't do it. But you didn't. You know, you turned up. Like I said, you got to have a match against Tucker. That's awesome. And consummate professional.
Yeah, I do. I think there was one producer who's like a wrestling fan, and I think I mentioned it to him, and he's like, if you can make sure you're going to be back? Are you going to blah, blah, blah? I was like, oh, yeah, don't worry. It's just an appearance. I won't be doing any wrestling. Boom, let's go, baby. That's
little white lie. No, I'm just there to sign some autographs. I'm just there. That's the thing. That's, you know, I bet the fans were like hyped. Obviously, right. Well, we'll talk True Grit as well now, because you mentioned him earlier. You know, the Brady Phillips stuff that was going on. As a fan, dude, I actually loved. You know, I always love it when there's a story arc behind a belt. You know, somebody chasing a belt. You know, you got a bit of story there. The show in York before Redemption, when Brady came out at the end, and you know, you just came flying over the top rope into the, you know, on top of him. I was literally probably sat this far away from where you landed, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" You know, massive flying Wes coming my way. But as a fan, mate, that was amazing.
That I'm willing to break pull all the curtain back today. Do you know what? If anyone goes back and watches that when his music hits and looks at my reaction, that's because I didn't know he was coming out.
Genuinely, no, my time.
Yeah, like we're like, oh, things might. No, was it that one? There's a time it came out, and I put it on mine. I'll have to find it. I put it on mine. That's what Brady's like. Brady, he might be who he is, yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, he's good at his job.
He works hard.
And he loves pro wrestling. And if there's anyone who likes to do things on the fly, it's Brady Phillips. So there's many a time he's come out and given me stuff at the end of a show, or I've seen him do it to many other people, and they don't know it's happening, which is, you get a genuine reaction. So there's one where he comes out to me, and you can see my genuine reaction, like, what are you doing here?
That was the
And
York
that
one, I'm
just,
sure it was.
I think that just helped the story arc in itself. And I think I'm better when I'm just off the cuff anyway.
Yeah. It's genuine, isn't it? Like I said, it's legit. You know, I kind of like, so I can remember sort of looking and being like, and then looking back at you and like, I'm sure it was the York one, like we just talked about, when you was like, what the? She'd just been through like a hell of a match, you know, against Misery Business and BA Rose, you know, quite taxing, everything kind of thing. And then, yeah, you know, Brady comes out and your face was just like, no, mate, not now.
Yeah, so if you ever see Brady coming out at the end of a show, just let it be known he's probably politicked his way into it, spoke to the promoter while no one's looking, and then no one knows, and then he's just probably pressed play the music himself and come out.
Shout out to poor ref Scott Bell at the last time show. Brady did it again, came out, bam, dropped Scott on his head. I know he was feeling it. So yeah, but that's why, you know, he's the king of he's the king of the ref bumps. But yeah, you know, it's just another example. Brady coming out, tearing shit up. Nobody's got
I finally got him back though.
Yes.
If anyone's not seen that show, it's free on YouTube at the minute. You can finally see, like you said, with story arcs, we've all got story arcs. Mine's still going. And I think I helped Rio complete one of her many story arcs that she's going through in her amazing career so far. That was a nice full circle moment.
That's not wrong. You've tagged with her before. So obviously, yeah, good. You know, you lost the belt, but yeah, you're hyped for Rio. You know, she's got the belt now. Rio is the new True Grit champ, and as you say, you helped. You know, but yeah, it's just somebody that you enjoy working with. Because to me, again, as a fan, you know, she's absolutely tearing it up. You know, she got voted like Female Wrestler of the Year last year. I can only imagine she's just an awesome person to be around.
Oh yeah. I felt I let her down in the we had the intergender tag match where that probably would have been her opportunity at the title. I think I let the team down there. May have been distracted by other things. Now we all know what it was. I was at the time I couldn't talk about what was distracting me. Now I think we're all aware what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anything, we look like a good tag team. I'll tell you that.
Oh yes.
We look like we could mess up a few people.
Got to ask as well. Well, again, tag team, the last True Grit show. You've got, well, I think they were trying to sandbag you. You know, they were trying to make it a 2-on-1 handicap. You know, Music and Shreddy versus Nsereko. Those two guys are just, I know they're heels, and I should hate them. They just entertain the crap out of me. But obviously, you had an ace up your sleeve anyway. In the big boy, you know, my person, I'll big up to the moon, Mr. Kemper. So I got to see two of my favourite people in the ring.
Has he been on? Yeah, have you had him on? Have you?
Yeah, I had him on a while ago. He's back on in July. I need to sort it out because when I first spoke to him, he was still an unknown-ish entity. He was Pursuit champion at the time, but he hadn't quite been recognised. Yeah. Obviously, this time the dude's tearing it up.
It's amazing to see the untouchable. Yeah. My second best friend. He's gonna tear it up wherever he goes. I can't wait.
It'll be awesome. But like I said, so you mentioned a while ago the 100-mile marathon. I just kind of want to touch back on that again, just to sort of focus just on how hybrid you are and stuff. So is that coming up, or did you say that you? I know you.
No, that was. I did a charity run for the Yorkshire Trench, which is a World War I trench over in Belgium that we're trying to get refurbished. So me and a colleague at work were raising funds, and we did a charity run. So I ran from Leeds to Sheffield to York, and then the aim was to get back to Leeds. That would have been 103 miles. I tapped out at mile I tapped out at mile 71.
Right.
Just with my foot was killing, and we were unsupported, so I was carrying my own water, my own food.
Oh,
Didn't have any
okay.
support, that's why I think I'd have done it if it wasn't for that, because I was carrying all my own water and stuff, and it was just too heavy. And we're running on concrete because obviously we're running on A roads and stuff, like to get to the 3 points as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Pretty beat up. It was 71 mile mark where I gave up, and that was running for 25 hours straight with no sleep.
Oh.
So I was probably sleep deprived as well, which is why I ended up giving up.
Dude, that is like, I thought you'd have done it over like 2 or 3 days. Take run for 4 hours, slept for a couple, run for 4 hours. Kind of on off.
Set off at 8 a.m. Set off at 8 a.m. and then I believe it was around 7 a.m. where we stopped near a roundabout near York. So I was just about to make it to like the second to last checkpoint, and I was just like, I'm so beat up. And then the guy I was running with is a beast at running, half my body weight. So I was trying to keep up with someone half my body weight who does this for fun. He runs like 300-mile marathons every year in the winter. He's a madman. So I was trying to keep up with him, and he was like, he says, why don't you look? And I wish I never looked now. And we just had a quick look on the map to see where the nearest train station or bus stop was. And we just saw that there was a bus stop 2 miles up the road. And that would have got me back to Leeds. And then as soon as I imagined me being home and in bed, I was done. Because I was like, oh, I could be home in bed before like 8:30. And I was like, I think I'm done. And I just think now, if I'd have just carried on, I might have broke myself. Who knows? Because the guy who I was running with, in the end, he pulled out, I think, at mile 87 or 86. So his legs were pretty beat up as well. So I'm glad I didn't, because if he pulled out, I'd have definitely pulled out. So it's basically I had unfinished business. I wanted to do a 100+ mile ultra marathon, so that's what I was training for. I was training to do the Yorkshire Free Peaks, and then I was going to slowly up it. That's when I hurt my ankle. That's when I rested for 2 weeks. I strapped my ankle up. I think I wrestled drill at True Grit TV. We did the True Grit TV.
Yeah.
That's why I had to strap my ankle up, because I'd just gone over on my ankle trying to train in the Yorkshire Dales. And while I was resting with my ankle up, that is when Gladiators called for the tryout. So all that was going on at the same time. I was just like, oh.
I can't, don't.
It's a mad one.
Hopefully you're not. I mean, obviously, you kind of, you can't beat yourself. That 71 mark, mate, that is impressive as hell, kind of thing. That's just straight as well, though. I couldn't even think that was an option. I think that's just absolutely mental. But it's just, like I said, when you think of a runner, no offense to runners, but they're quite wiry. I mean, they're designed for running. They're aerodynamic.
I agree.
Just a massive muscle. You've got to have it harder than most of them, in my opinion, surely.
I didn't realize that until I started just getting longer and longer distances. I think the first time it really hit home is when we did I've got a t-shirt. The Hard Holds 40. I was 10 kilograms lighter than I am now. But I was still, so I remember doing that race, and I got to a checkpoint, and I can remember everyone, the 2-3 guys, they made jokes at the time, and they were like, "You doing the hard walks?" I was like, "Yeah." And they was like, when I think they were like confused, like, where did I set off from? And I was like, the start line. They're like, you do know that you're like in 12th position. I was like, what? And they were like, because I had a cut-off vest. Every pro wrestler wears a cut-off vest. So I was like, I took a photo. There was a photographer there, so obviously I got the guns out for the photo. They're like, so like my nickname then for the rest of the thing was biceps, because it's like, and then I didn't realize that like, yeah, the people who were near me, they were like super lean, and I was like, oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, there we go. Dude, again though, it just makes it all the more impressive. It's just absolutely it blows my mind. I've just clocked the time though as well. You're going over the sort of the hour mark, but dude, I can't sort of, like I say, I spoke to you last year. I've obviously watched you in the ring for 10 plus years. I remember the original True Grits. I remember BWA. I remember Disco Wes. And mate, I'm legitimately so happy. We've got the Nsereko tour going on. I joked about it earlier. You're just going everywhere now. Everybody wants a piece, and rightly so.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna get posts out there. Make sure if anyone's following me, Wesley Nsereko. I've got so many Gladiator clips. I need to throw out wrestling clips, and I just want to develop into the best version of me for the remainder of this year.
Dude, go for it, mate. You're well on your way. I can't sort of, obviously what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be improved. From the outside perspective, dude, I think you pretty much, you seem awesome to me as you are now, kind of thing. So if there's more to come, that's great. But
I'm probably 10% of where I need to be.
Just enjoy it though, dude. As long as you're enjoying it, dude, that's key. As long as you keep a smile on your face and you've got that balance, because you need to be happy still.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest advantage I've got with every endeavor I've done. Yeah, I've done these stupid runs where I've not slept. Yes, I've wrestled Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gone to work Monday, done a gym challenge on the Wednesday. Is it a bit bad because I'm not putting 100%? Sometimes I kick myself and I'm angry at myself because I'm not putting 100% into pro wrestling. I'm not putting 100% into my running. I'm not putting 100% into just my physical appearance. And then at the end of the day, I'm sat there on a Sunday and I'm like, I'm happy with what I'm doing. So in my eyes, that's all that matters. And sometimes it comes out in my performances and the people I meet along the way, like yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Oh,
if that's what I'm remembered for, then so be it.
Dude, that's it. There's a hell of a lot worse things to be remembered. That is an amazing thing to be remembered for. I think that's what anybody could want. I've got to do this. I've got to shout them out. I don't know who they are. I don't know who the parent is, but it was at a York show. I saw two kids walking around with the Nsereko wigs on.
Yeah.
If they're watching this, or if the dad's watching this, I just want to say there's one
Thomas
father
and
to
Robbie.
another.
Thomas and High Five Rob. Yeah, it just shows. I think I saw them at a show way back when, and they just gravitated towards. I think they just caught me on a good day, where I was beating the crap out of Jimmy Jackson. So that's always a good day. I remember that show. I was like, I get to hit Jimmy Jackson, so I was in a good mood. They saw me. We all got in a good mood together, and then now they came to True Grit. Now they're massive True Grit fans. They love Rio. They love Wing Commander, Ace. That's what wrestling's for. If I can pull these families to come have the time of their lives at these wrestling shows that I'm at, that's my job done.
But yeah, I just want to say to the dad that takes them, as I say, it's one father to another. That's parenting done right, and I salute you.
Paul is watch this space with him. Watch this space.
Watch this space. Awesome, dude. I've got to. I kind of want to keep. I'm going to kind of fight the urge just to keep on going here, but I don't want to keep you for too long, and I don't want the episode to be too long. But yeah, right. Where can people see everything that you're doing? Plug the socials. Let them keep up to date with the Nsereko tour, as I dubbed it.
Yeah, so I'm on the usual Instagram X. I've actually changed my Facebook into just pro wrestling now. Wesley Nsereko, Wesley NSEREKO. Nsereko. So I've got the Facebook, X, Instagram. I've also got a YouTube channel that I was putting weekly videos on, but as you know, it became impossible over the last 4 weeks. I was trying my hardest to get on top of everything, but I just had an idea. I wanted to be on YouTube and develop a bit of a community, but that's like a 5-10 year plan. It's not like something I could have done. For some reason, I thought, oh, I'll do it while everyone's watching Gladiators. It didn't work like that. But yeah, I'll post all my things on there. Big things to come. It is what it is.
That's it. Let me know when the rum comes out as well, because I will purchase. For you, I'm not doing it for my pleasure. You know, I'll buy a shed load of rum to support, you know, the company and to support you, and I'll drink it if I have to. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it for my own pleasure, but I want to be a good fan and support your endeavours.
You're giving me an idea there. I actually want to post it. If anyone buys it, I actually want to see a video of them drinking it with like a genuine review, because I'm not the biggest drinker, but I thought it was fine. It's like, if I can be linked to a Ugandan rum, I'm all in.
Dude, it's a spirit, like you say. It's the spirit of all spirits. I will purchase a bottle just if I've got to. Like I say, you know, my arms up my back. Dude, it's been an absolute genuine pleasure. Same as it was last time. I knew it would be. You know, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting. Everybody who's watched, thank you for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, share, do all the generic stuff, you know, you normally do after watching a video on YouTube that I tell you to do every episode. Keep your eyes peeled. Got some awesome stuff coming up. And yeah, that's it really. So thank you for watching, and we will be back again very soon. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.